This is PainUser, and I'm here with my good friend Sickness, who is a 2000 ranked Zerg player on the US ladder. And I'm going to be casting my games from the MLG Washington, D.C. event. And the first game I have for you is my first game in round 5 of the losers bracket against Liquid Ret on Xel'Naga Caverns. So I hope you guys enjoy. Also, on a side note, Strat Bunker is officially up and running. That's why it's been so long between this recording and the last. We finally got our website up. We've tracked down a bunch of other top-level instructors, and they're all on the site ready and waiting to give lessons. So you guys should definitely go check that out, www.stratbunker.com. And with that, I will let Ryan introduce himself.
Hey guys, this is Sickness. I'll be commentating with Taylor today. Looks like we're going to have some good games. Rhett's coming from the Netherlands, I believe, all the way to DC, so lots on the line right here for him.
And he's already down one game, as am I, in the losers bracket, so every game is pretty much do or die at this point. Probably shouldn't have lost. Yeah, we are both in the losers bracket, so I probably shouldn't have lost my first game right off the bat of the tournament to get thrown into the losers bracket.
Yeah, that's always rough.
Okay, so at the beginning of this game, my opening was just standard 12 racks into 13 gas, and I wanted to get some early pressure going with Hellion Marine push while taking a very quick expansion. So if you notice in a little bit, I actually just mine 100 resources in order to get enough gas for a refinery, and then I pull off immediately after I can build my factory and just mine all resources so I can get a really early command center. And if we go take a look at Rhett's base, I'll let Ryan talk about what he's up to.
Rhett's going for the pool to fast expand, which is pretty standard. PainUser got a nice little block, delaying his second hatch rate for about 100 minerals. Everything's looking pretty typical though over here.
Yeah, I decided on one-player maps that I was going to start sending out an early SCV just to block that hatchery. I mean, I really don't see any point why you shouldn't do that. I don't really think it's necessary to drop an engineering bay, which is something you see a lot of the Korean players do. They'll drop an engineering bay and try and build it up to almost 100%. And it costs a lot of money and delays your barracks a lot, and I just really don't think it's worth it. But not to mention the Zerg player can do a few things to get around that, which I'll let you talk about.
Well, coming from a Zerg player's perspective, it is pretty annoying and can delay the second hatch quite a bit. And you can cancel it, so that's something you might want to do some games. And as far as Rhett's Overlord placement, I think you should definitely have one sitting in the middle, as Marines can't snipe that. Gives you good map vision.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a really good spot to have an Overlord. You can see anything coming on either side of the Xel'Naga towers, any kind of movement across the middle of the map, so I think he might put one there later on. I'm not sure though, but right now I'm launching my initial push of just 4 Marines and a Hellion, and this is just to force the Zerg into producing some fighting units other than just droning up really hard, and it's also just to get rid of some of that sense of security that you might have early on in the game if you aren't doing any kind of pressure. And also you can get a free Overlord or two every now and then if you get lucky.
Yeah, Red's making 16 lings, definitely delaying his econ here with his push, so it's very solid. Red's about halfway done, so he's probably going to transition to muted.
I actually managed to get a queen right there, only losing 4 Marines, and I think I killed several lings and forced him to way overproduce on the turn. And And Rhett actually mentioned that after our game. He mentioned that he way overproduced on the Lings because he thought I was launching much more all-in or aggressive attack, but I was actually falling straight back into the expansion. Right now I have 4 Raxes up. I have an early NG Bay coming. I'm still producing Hellions off of that single factory. He actually comes with a really aggressive Zergling push. Kills most of my Marines. I had to throw my wall up again.
If Rhett scouted and pushed a little bit more, probably would have realized that he didn't have to build so many Lings. But they did pay off a little bit because he did pick up some kills. But still, he could have had a lot better of an econ right now. So overall, I don't think it was worth it. It's going to delay his mutas.
I agree with you there. He did come very close to winning the game right there, though. But with just pure Zerglings, it's almost impossible to break through a Terran wall, especially after the supply depots got that 50 hit point buff. I really just don't see Zerglings breaking through the front wall. Roaches, on the other hand, however, is a very different story, and it's very difficult for me to play against Zergs who open with quick Roaches. They can do a lot of damage early on, especially when you're just making Hellions and Marines in the early game. Roaches are actually very good against both of those units.
Yeah, you just need to get the Marauders out quick.
Yeah, if you get a few Marauders, you should be in a good position. So right now, Rhett's taking a pretty aggressive third base. He's also getting his Baneling Nest going and his Spire, and he's creeping all over the map. And that's something I've played against Rhett in many custom games, and we played a bunch right before MLG. And right here, he actually is morphing Banelings outside of my natural, and I don't know how, but I just had a hunch that something was going on back there, so I sent an SCV over to check out those Banelings.
Now the econ, Rhett has a great econ going here.
Yeah, Rhett has a ton of econ going. He droned up really hard. He's got his 4th going. Now he has Overlord drop and speed. He has Banelings in those Overlords. That's something very difficult to deal with. Now my sensor tower is actually deterring him from using those Overlords. You notice he's floating his Overlords right outside of the range of the sensor tower. I did put a sensor tower in my main base just because of the mutas. To prevent any kind of harassment. I'm also adding more factories at this point because I really want to get my tank pump going nice and solid.
Looks like he's going to go ahead with a drop on the main. Oh, no. Ouch. He was adding a couple of those Obies.
Yeah, losing a few Overlords full of Banelings is never good. Or actually, it's all Lings at this point. I thought he had some Banelings in those Overlords, but it's all just Zerglings. And I think he might as well
killed the ones with the Banelings.
Oh, okay. Here's a huge attack coming in by Rhett. Cleans up most of my army in mid, but he's not actually able to break me. He does not have enough units to finish me off, and I am just starting to get that Planetary Fortress going in the middle of the map, and I know that that Planetary Fortress, especially on this map, is absolutely pivotal. If I can hold that Planetary Fortress, if I can get it up and running, I can use the middle of this map as a staging point to do pretty much anything I want. I can float to the right-hand side of the map, I can float to the left-hand side of the map, I can harass hatcheries. It's really up to you how you want to play it, but once you get a foothold in the middle of Naga Caverns with the Planetary Fortress, you have a high yield, and you have a very aggressive position on the map from which to launch any of your attacks. So it's absolutely essential in any matchup as a Terran player to get a Planetary Fortress going in the middle of the map on Naga Caverns, and I know it's difficult for Zerg players to deal with.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it allows you to take that 4th earlier and safer. But one thing I'd like to note on